The clock on the wall ticked without mercy. 8 p.m. Adam sat alone in his room, the glow of his phone lighting up his tired face. Another day had passed. Another day where nothing changed. He wasn't poor enough to panic. He wasn't successful enough to feel proud. He existed in the most dangerous place a human can live, comfortable disappointment. Adam had dreams once, big ones, wild ones, the kind that made his heart race when he was younger. But life had slowly negotiated those dreams down. Not destroyed them, just delayed them. I'll start tomorrow. Next week will be different. Once things settled down, years passed inside those sentences. Tonight felt no different. Same bed, same scrolling, same emptiness disguised as rest. Then his phone battery died. Silence filled the room. No music, no notifications, no distractions. Just Adam and the clock. Tick, tick, tick. He stood up, restless, pacing the room like a man trapped inside his own skin. His reflection in the dark window startled him. Tired eyes, slouched shoulders, a face that looked older than it should. "This can't be it," he whispered. At that moment, something unusual happened. Not a miracle, not motivation, just a question that landed heavy in his chest. What if the next 1 hour decides everything? He laughed bitterly. 1 hour? Against years of failure? Against habits? Against fear? Ridiculous. But the silence didn't argue back. The clock read 8:07 p.m. He sat down at his desk, not with confidence, not with excitement, but with curiosity. What would I do, he asked himself, if this was the only hour that mattered? He didn't plan his whole life. He didn't design a 10-year vision. He didn't wait to feel ready. He just chose one thing he had been avoiding. Writing. Adam opened his old laptop. It took forever to start. Just like him. A blank document appeared. The cursor blinked, mocking him. He hesitated. Fear crawled up his spine. What if I'm not good? What if this goes nowhere? What if I prove to myself that I wasted my life? Then another thought interrupted. What if I don't? He typed one sentence. It was terrible. He typed another. Still bad. But the clock kept moving. 8:22 p.m. Something shifted. His shoulders relaxed. His breathing slowed. The noise in his head softened. For the first time in years, he wasn't escaping himself. He was facing himself. That hour did not make him rich. It did not make him famous. It did not fix his entire life. But it did something far more dangerous. It proved that change was not impossible. At 9:00 p.m., Adam stopped. Exactly 1 hour. He looked at the screen. 3 messy pages. Unpolished, unimpressive, but real. And for the first time in a long time, he felt something unfamiliar. Respect for himself. That night, before sleeping, he wrote a sentence on paper and taped it to the wall. That night, the hour taught him its second lesson. Motivation begins the journey. Discipline finishes it. And discipline is built in hours no one applauds. Success does not arrive quietly. It announces itself with resistance. Around the 3rd week, Adam noticed something disturbing. The hour stopped feeling heroic. It stopped feeling special. It started feeling heavy. Some nights, he stared at the screen for 20 minutes without typing a word. Other nights, every sentence felt fake, forced, useless. The excitement of starting was gone. The pride of consistency was fading. This was the phase no one posts about. The phase where progress hides, where effort feels unrewarded, where the mind begins to sabotage. "You've changed nothing," the voice said. 3 weeks for this? People smarter than you have failed. Adam leaned back in his chair and closed his eyes. For the first time, quitting felt logical, not emotional. Logical. He calculated time, energy, results. The numbers didn't look impressive. Then another realization hit him, sharp and uncomfortable. He had been measuring the hour by outcomes, instead of measuring himself by growth. That night, Adam did something different. He didn't write to succeed. He wrote to understand. Why was this hour so difficult now? The answer was brutal. Because the hour was no longer fighting his laziness. It was fighting his identity. Old Adam avoided silence, avoided effort, avoided long-term thinking. This hour was threatening that version of him. And identities do not die without a fight. At 8:41 p.m., frustration boiled over. He whispered angrily, "I'm trying. Why isn't this working?" The room gave no response. Then his eyes fell on the pages he had written over the last weeks. They weren't great, but they existed. and existence was proof of transformation. That's when Adam understood the third lesson of the hour. Before your life changes, your self-image must collapse. You cannot build a new future while protecting an old version of yourself. That night, he didn't finish strong. He didn't feel proud. But he stayed. Stayed with discomfort. Stayed with doubt. Stayed with the urge to escape. And staying was the victory. The next day, something unexpected happened. A colleague asked him, "You seem different lately. Everything okay?" Adam paused. Different. No one had ever said that before. He smiled slightly. "Yeah," he said. "Just working on something." He didn't explain. He didn't seek validation, because the hour had taught him another quiet truth. When change is real, it doesn't need to be announced. Weeks turned into a month. Adam's life still looked ordinary from the outside. Same job, same room, same routine. But inside, something irreversible had begun. He trusted himself now. Not blindly, not arrogantly, but realistically. He had evidence. 1 hour, every day, even when it hurt. And that evidence whispered something dangerous. 1 hour a day can build a life, or destroy the excuse. Adam didn't know it yet. But that ignored hour, that ordinary silent hour, was the moment his old life quietly ended. The next morning did not feel magical. No sunlight breaking through clouds. No sudden confidence. No cinematic music playing in the background. Adam woke up tired. The world hadn't changed. Bills were still unpaid. His phone was still old. His doubts were still loud. For a brief moment, he almost laughed at last night's seriousness. 1 hour, he muttered, brushing his teeth. So dramatic. Life has a cruel way of mocking beginnings. By noon, reality returned with force. Work emails, noise, pressure. People rushing toward goals Adam couldn't see for himself. The old habit whispered gently, "You tried. That's enough. Missing 1 day won't matter. Start again when life feels lighter." Adam paused. He remembered the feeling. Not success, not achievement. Respect. That feeling scared him more than failure. At 8 p.m., the clock stared at him again. This time he noticed something strange. The hour felt heavier. Yesterday it was curiosity. Today it was resistance. His mind attacked him. "You're tired. You deserve rest. What's the point of this?" Writers fail every day. Adam sat anyway, not motivated, not inspired, just present. He opened the document. Read yesterday's writing, cringed. This is trash, he thought. Then he remembered something brutally honest. Trash can be edited. Nothing can be edited if it doesn't exist. He started again. Slow, messy, uncertain. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. His phone buzzed. A message from a friend inviting him out. Old Adam would have gone. Not because he wanted to, but because distraction felt safer than discipline. Adam looked at the clock. 8:27 p.m. He typed one line and ignored the message. Something uncomfortable formed inside him. Pride mixed with fear. This wasn't talent. This wasn't luck. This was choice. By the end of the hour, his back hurt. His eyes burned. His mind was exhausted. But the paper on the wall felt louder now. 1 hour a day can build a life. Or destroy the excuse. Days passed. Not perfect days. Broken days. Rushed days. Some hours felt powerful. Others felt pointless. But Adam showed up, even when his writing felt useless. Even when no one noticed. Even when progress felt invisible. Weeks later, something subtle changed. He walked differently. Not confidently, but intentionally. He stopped apologizing for trying. He stopped explaining his discipline. He stopped waiting for permission. The hour had started shaping him. Not into a success story, but into a man who keeps promises to himself. One night, exhausted and frustrated, Adam slammed his laptop shut. "This isn't working," he whispered. Silence answered. Then he opened it again. Not because he believed, but because he had trained himself not to quit when belief disappears.